PostSecret started a number of ways. Some I can recognize and some I never will. I also had a boring job, which kind of pushed me to do something creative. And I think I was keeping secrets in my own life. So maybe I needed to create this safe place for others to share so I could enter too. I think it helps all of us recognize how life can be more interesting when we understand what people might be keeping in their minds or hiding in their hearts. But it could also remind us that maybe we have secrets too, or stories that we're not quite ready to share, or we haven't found the right person to share them with. And so my hope is that the presentation tonight is entertaining, is enriching, but even more so that it opens people up to have more interesting conversations afterwards and think of their fellow classmates maybe a little bit differently, maybe with a bit more empathy. Well, at all PostSecret events, I like to leave time for audience members to share their stories, their secrets. And I found that at larger universities, students are more apt to share. I've also found that at religious institutions, they're less likely to share publicly. So maybe that brings up the idea of stigma or shame or embarrassment. And it reminds us that if we really want to have those special conversations with our friends, with family, it's important that we create a safe space to share, some place where secrets and stories and people are respected and honored. And also, if we want to lead that conversation, we need to be able to be vulnerable first and tell our secrets. That's the best way to hear somebody else's secrets, is to tell your secrets first. Maybe incrementally, but I always believed that people had these rich interior lives inside of them, but they didn't have a place to share them, those hidden acts of kindness or inside jokes or, desperate stories of despair or anguish. So for me, it just makes life more interesting knowing that all these stories of heroism and frailty are out there being played out all the time, by our friends and family, people who walk by us on campus. When you get millions of secrets, you can pretty much bank on them coming from all over. And not just this country, I get postcards with postmarks from New Zealand and Dublin, Spain and Iraq. So it really just reminds us that secrets are universal, and that if we could talk more about those stories that we keep private, I think it would allow us to come together more, not just with friends and family, but internationally, maybe more peace in the world.